this, the first thing that we are going to do is to take 5 and 2 on the other side of the equal sign, so that we remain with tan x sine x is equals to 2 over 5, and this is going to be a negative. So immediately we have done that, we need to remember that tan x is the same as sine x over cos x. So we can be able to replace that at this point and say sine x over cos x times sine x is equal to negative 2 over 5. If we multiply this and this here, we are going to have what? We are going to have sine squared x is equals to, that is over cos x is equals to minus 2 over 5. So we can multiply this on the other side, so that we are going to have sine squared x is equals to negative 2 over 5 cos x. So there's no way we can be able to work out this question this way when we have sine and cosine. So we can be able to convert this into cosine. So what are we going to do? We can be able to decide, and you need to remember that cos squared x plus sine squared x is equals to 1. So with that, we can be able to say now that sine squared x is the same as 1 minus cos squared x. So meaning this part we can be able to replace with 1 minus cos squared x, and this will be plus 2 over 5 cos x is equals to 0. So at this point of time, I can rearrange this equation, and if I divide all through by negative 1, I'll have cos squared x minus 2 over 5 cos x minus 1 is equals to 0. I can multiply all through by 5, and then we shall have 5 cos squared x minus 2 cos x minus 5 is equals to 0. So we can now let cos x be equal to m. So we are going to have a quadratic equation. So having this, we can say this is going to be what? 5m squared minus 2m minus 5 is equals to 0. Can we try to solve this so that we can be able to see what this quadratic formula equation can reduce to? So this quadratic equation here, of a is 5, the value of b is negative 2, and the value of c is negative 5. So working it out, we are going to get the value of x is being equivalent to 1.2, which is not correct. So the value of m is going to be 1.2 or m is equals to negative 0.81. So remember, for trigonometric functions, there is something that we call a domain and range. This is what we call the domain of x. But the range of a cosine function, a cosine graph, will just go like this, and then it ends here. So if this is 360 degrees, so this is 1, and the least point it can go is minus 1. So but if you look at this value that we are having here, this is this value that we have gotten at this point here, we are going to ignore this value. We are not going to use it at any given point. So the value we are going to use, we are going to say cos x is equal to negative 0.81. So we need to ask ourselves, where do we have cos negative? We are in the second quadrant, and also we have it negative in the, we have it in the third quadrant. So which will mean that whenever we are going to find the cos inverse of this is going to be cos inverse of negative 0.81, if we put it in the calculator, and ensure that your calculator is basically in calculator should be in degrees, and in that case we are going to say that shift cosine of negative 0.81, if you put it in, you are going to get 144 degrees. So meaning that this is 144 degrees. So this angle we have up to this point is 144 degrees. So what's the angle down here? So if it's 144, it means it's 180 minus 144, which translates to 36. This is 36 degrees, and down here we shall also have 36 degrees. So the second angle that we are going to have here is an angle running from this point going all the way to this point here. So our x is going to be 144 degrees, or x is equals to, now this second angle is 180 plus 36 and 16 degrees. So the two values that satisfy this particular equation is the value of x, which is equals to what? Which is equals to 144. So you can see if we move like this, this 0, this is 90, this is 180, this is 270, and then this is 360 degrees. So where do we have, so you need to ask yourself, what are the values whereby you're going to have cos is negative 0.18. Negative 0.18 is somewhere here. Negative 0.18 is somewhere here. No. Where you're going to have negative 0.81. Negative 0.81 is somewhere here. So if we draw a straight line like that, you can see now one of the solution is going to lie here, which is above 90 degrees, and this is the value that we got here. And another value is that is of course this is 270 degrees, so is another value just below 270 degrees. So you can see this is 216 degrees. So basically that's what you do when you are trying to solve trigonometric equations in a pure math exam.